I knew something was wrong the second I saw that golf cart blocking my driveway. Two wannabe cops leaning against it, all puffed up like they were the Secret Service or something, and I'm just sitting there in my pickup thinking, here we go again. I roll down the window, give him the look. You're blocking my drive, I say, trying not to sound as annoyed as I am. The tall one with mirrored shades, sunburned nose, you know the type, throws up a hand like he's about to direct traffic. HOA orders, lake access is temporarily restricted. And that's when I almost laugh, right? Because this isn't just a lake. This is my dock, my stretch of shoreline. What are you talking about? I ask. HOA president said no one's allowed near the lake for safety. She said you'd argue. He tells me, deadpan. Now you already know who she is. Gloria Renfield, Queen of Cardigans, the bleach blonde tyrant of Willow Ridge HOA. This woman once fined me for having birdhouses that didn't match the aesthetic. I just grin and tell the guy. Tell Gloria to double-check the property lines and maybe the water rights while she's at it. He just stares, so I pull off the road, drive around their little barricade, and park right by my boathouse. That's when the story really starts. See, my name's Darrell Benson, and I got this place from my uncle. He built the house back in the 70s, before Willow Ridge was anything but trees and mud. Nobody in the HOA ever bothered to check, but the whole damn lake exists because of a dam. And guess what? I own that dam. The land, the flow rights, the maintenance, everything. HOA's property line stops 50 feet before the dam even starts, but they strut around like they're the lords of the water. Legally, I'm the one holding it all back. I head down to my dock, new temporarily closed signs zip-tied to my fence. And who's marching down the path with a clipboard and a pastel sweater vest? Gloria herself. Lips pursed so tight I wonder if she ever eats solid food. Darrell, you can't be here, she says, all sticky sweet. Unsafe algae levels. Until we get a review, the lake's off limits. I just look at her. My lake. I say, don't be difficult, the community needs protecting, she snips. We're avoiding liability. At this point, I can't help but laugh. Pretty sure I never signed anything giving you jurisdiction over my property, Gloria. She rolls her eyes. You're part of Willow Ridge. That means the common areas belong to the HOA. She's got her pen out, acting like she's about to write me a citation. Don't push me, Darrell. We've already filed a notice. If you don't comply, we'll escalate. I step closer. You do realize I own the dam, right? That shuts her up for maybe half a second. You're bluffing. Nope. And if you keep this up, I might just drain the lake for maintenance. Her jaw actually drops. So I go back to my truck, and I'm thinking, if it's war she's about to get one. I've got paperwork, historical records, and a cousin who makes county officials weep. Sure enough, next morning, I hear a metallic clatter outside. Two guys in yellow vests are locking a chain across my boathouse. I yell, you want to explain before I call the sheriff? Clipboard guy grins. Just securing the area. HOA directive. You do realize this is private property? I ask. He ignores me, clicks the padlock shut, and walks off. I whip out my phone, name and ID now. They just drive away. I call my cousin. Trina, property rights attorney, absolute shark. Ready to sue the sweater mafia? She asks. They padlocked my boathouse, I say. She's there by noon, camera in hand, folder thick as a phone book. She takes photos, checks every sign, every scratch on the lock, even the tire tracks. They've overstepped, claimed easement rights they don't own, enacted rules not even in their own charter. So what do? I ask. First, we call the sheriff. That afternoon, Deputy Malden shows up, solid guy, not a fan of HOA nonsense. He sees the lock, frowns, and says, you file a complaint yet? Trina's ready. We're also filing for a restraining order against the HOA board's enforcement arm. He nods, takes the evidence. By sundown, the lock is gone, not by my hand, but by sheriff's order. Even sent a tech to photograph the bolt holes. I'm thinking, maybe that's the end of it. Oh, but Gloria isn't done. Next morning, I find a laminated violation notice taped to my door, unauthorized. Water use, a $500 fine, threats of legal action. Trina laughs. They're pretending they can tax you for your own water. She's desperate. That afternoon, a neighbor knocks. Felix, retired firefighter, lives across the lake. He's got a notice too. Said my canoe rack violates shoreline visibility. No idea what that even means. Trina checks it. They're bullying anyone who might side with you. I tell Felix, you're a witness now. We hold a meeting in my garage. Trina prints flyers. Felix brings coffee, and 30 neighbors show up. Turns out I'm not the only one harassed. Martha, from Lot 12, fined for a wind chime. Curtis told he can't park in his own driveway. The only reason they get away with this is nobody pushes back, Trina says. Well, now we're pushing. Local news picks up the story. I go on TV with my deed, point to the dam. Gloria won't talk on camera, issues a weak statement about community safety. The county prosecutor calls Trina criminal. Trespass, property interference, opening an investigation. Then, twist, a security guard quits, hands over HOA memos. Use any means necessary to restrict lake access until we can negotiate control. They were trying to set a precedent. If I complied, they'd claim HOA control over the lake. But I didn't. Trina files for injunctive relief. Court grants it in 72 hours. The HOA is barred from making rules about my lake. At the next board meeting, half the neighborhood's there with "I stand with the dam owner" pins. Felix brings a poster of the lake deed. Gloria tries to shout them down, fails. A recall petition starts. By month's end, the board dissolves. Gloria resigns. I get a fruit basket and an apology from the new president. But the saga's not over. City Public Works shows up. Inspector named Delaney. Anonymous report you've been tampering with the watershed, she says. I show her the maintenance log. County's own stamps. Nothing amiss. Someone's trying to make trouble, she admits. Later, Curtis calls. Caught 2 guys in HOA jackets on his security cam, digging behind Lot 43. They'd installed a valve, trying to reroute water. If they opened that during a storm, they could flood the greenway and claim emergency control. I realize. Trina calls it felony tampering. Within hours, a hydrologist confirms the bypass tap was engineered, ordered on the HOA's dime, signed off by Bruce Kettle, former VP. DA presses charges: criminal conspiracy, misuse of funds, unlawful construction. Investigators dig deeper, find kickbacks, shell companies, you name it. The new interim board opens the books. Residents rewrite the bylaws. My lake's now protected by community vote. We hold a summer festival. Food trucks, live music, Trina's legal booth. Curtis's light show over the water. Gloria's house goes up for sale under a different name. Weeks later, I get a letter from the DA. Case wouldn't have happened without me refusing to back down. I hang it in my garage for history, not for show. People still ask how it started. I tell them it began with a chain on a gate. But really, it started the day somebody mistook community for control and forgot who held the dam. And you know what? There's power in patience, not just pressure. The lake is steady, and so am I. So tell me, have you ever seen a neighborhood where like this? Would you have pushed back, or just paid the fine and moved on? Drop your story in the comments. Let's hear your take on HOAs, property rights, and what real justice looks like. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell me where you're watching from, because stories like this, they're happening everywhere.